This is the segment that you want to crow about. I'll let you get it out of the way. You predicted this. Patient zero for comedy wrestling. You said this as a joke last week. Yeah, one of the former ROH champions they're going to get to put Jericho over is going to be Colt Boom Boom Cabana. And it was obviously it was a joke. Number one, we said, did he even ever have the belt? And now Jericho's promo amended that to any champion, tag champion, TV champion, pure champion, women's champion. Just because even Ring of Honor in the worst days of the promotion was never desperate enough to put the belt on Cabana. But there are actually, again, people trying to say this wasn't a display of how Tony Khan has lost all control, and Chris Jericho, now he's got that Cheshire Cat smile. He has poisoned Punk's well, and now that Punk's on the way out and he's got Tony's ear, he's going to be the smart ass. And here we go. Colt Cabana, it was exactly done to rub it in Punk's face, or what they think's going to rub something in Punk's face. But here, before we talk about this match, is Tony Khan completely bereft of his senses? That was a question to you, Brian Last.
I don't think he's completely bereft of them, but I don't think he necessarily does things based on his senses. He sometimes trusts other people's senses. Okay, well now Chris Jericho is going to be the one to get Tony Khan sued. Because what are you doing? You already know that Punk is not a guy who apparently takes being disrespected lying down and is going to say something or do something about it, not only in this company, but of his track record. So what we've been hearing is that a buyout is being negotiated. And the only other detail that we've heard that's been publicly mentioned by anybody is that a non-compete term or clause was part of a hang-up. So that basically means, on the surface of it, Punk has said, okay, give me my fucking money and I'll be on my way. And Tony is attempting to give him his money, but apparently would want a longer non-compete clause than Punk wants, because it wouldn't work the other way. It wouldn't be Tony saying, oh, Punk, go anywhere right now. And Punk said, no, I need to. So it has to be that way, right? By just any common sense. Because Tony realizes that Punk could sue his ass over any of this at any time and win. Not only that, but if he won, or before he even won, all the EVPs, all of them would be deposed. All of them would be giving depositions under oath. All of the talent involved, anybody that had any knowledge or acquaintance with any of these people and or the situation would be under oath giving depositions, and in discovery, misconduct by the EVPs and or issues with any other talent besides Punk would come out, as well as a very close look at who did this quote-unquote independent investigation, and or how independent that those investigators really are from the Khan's entire business empire. And Punk would win a lawsuit. I think it would be a slam dunk. The only problem with that would be how long it might take, but it's not like he wouldn't win. So before you give this guy his money to go away and he signs off on whatever you have agreed on and offered him and he's taken, don't piss the fucking guy off. Don't let your minions piss the fucking guy off. Don't let your minions do the same thing that they were doing behind his back to the journalists, except now that they think they've won, they're doing it on live television in the middle of your own business that you're not in any way in control of.
Don't piss the guy off or he'll sue you and he'll win. And all the things about how slapdash your company is could very well be in writing for a variety of people to see. So
for his dad to see, if we're going to be honest about it.
For his dad, exactly how close is Shad to this investigation and to what all's going on? And how much does he know about who Tony has hired to be in these positions and how they conduct themselves? Don't piss the guy. Just get him his check and wipe your head. You've made the choice. You're going to side with the kids instead of the adult. You're going to side with the people that started the problem and fostered this environment of all friends wrestling instead of the guy that from your own chicken lips, Tony Khan, said drew you more money than any other wrestler ever. He made that comment on numerous of occasions. So now that you've done that, give the guys money to go away and be thankful and wipe your head that you got away with something, because elsewise you're going to get your ass sued and everybody's going to find out what a bunch of dipshits you got working for you. But in the meantime, Chris Jericho had a match with Colt Cabana. And do you know, I will say this right here and right now. Colt Cabana tried his hardest, worked his ass off. That is the most serious, best match that he's had in 15 years. Now, again, that may be like being the nicest guy in prison, but there was no of the ass in the face. There was the no jolly joker smile. There was the no cute little movements that he does to confound his opponent. He worked because he was trying to prove something. Now, he's still a non-entity in the wrestling business and in AEW, and he's going to be a non-entity in Ring of Honor, which is practically a non-entity itself. But at least he fucking stepped up to try to be serious to prove something. And then, of course, then Jericho beat him because that's Jericho's thing. Not only does he want to bring in all the ex-Ring of Honor champions, an angle that gets him a win on TV every week, but he wanted to do this specifically this week so that, you know, he could send a message up to Chicago. What'd you think of the match before we get to the afterbirth?
Oh, the match sucked. There was that great spot where they both fell off the rope to the floor. That was spectacular. You guys are old. Stop doing this shit. You know, it was what I expected it to be. I joked about it, but I was pretty confident that's exactly what it was going to be. You know, it's funny. When you think of the Bucks' friends, they got Cabana back on TV, Brian Cage back on TV. Got to wonder if Joey Ryan's going to be next.
Well, he's going to be partners with Cage, right? Because they're close, from what I understand.
I don't like the way they're using Jericho here. It's nonstop Jericho on this show. You have Jared at the beginning of the show, but it's total nonstop Jericho each and every week. It feels like just a drunk episode of Raw, and everything sucks. And no one wants to see this, the Ocho, each and every week doing this. Swami doesn't want to see it.
Swami's up in arms back there.
But yeah, fuck this segment. No.
Yeah. The wood chipper. But then Jericho wins. On the way up the ramp, Jericho's stooges, Daddy Mac, Mac Daddy, and Cool Hand Luke, get Ian Riccaboni, the Ring of Honor commentator, from the announce booth and drag him over on stage and start slapping him around and breaking his glasses. What the And then here comes Claudio and Bryan Danielson and Sammy Guevara and Wheeler Useless and security. And everybody had a big phony fight with fake punches. Again, I know there's 20 people out there in a big wild skirmish, but folks, assume that the camera is on you and you're not just contributing meaningless motion to a fucking big schmoz. Somebody's going to be looking at you individually. Make your shit look good. And it's television. Anyway,